Howdy there friends, Tristan here, and today I'd like to tell you everything you could possibly need to know about the different types of hostel rooms. So as you can tell, I am currently staying here in a hostel. I'm in San Francisco at a hostel called Pacific Tradewinds, and I've really enjoyed my time here so far. It's been a great experience, wonderful hostel, lots of cool little perks that I didn't expect. So if you're ever coming to San Francisco, it is a hostel that I'd recommend. But anyways, as you see here, this hostel room I'm staying in is just one type of 8 different types of hostel rooms. And you could argue there's more than that, but anyways, let's get into the video. The first 4 I'm going to talk about are all different types of dorm rooms, and the last 4 are going to be all different types of private rooms. So the difference between these 2 big categories is dorm rooms are, you buy the bed. So like this right here, this is my bed that I'm staying at, check it out if you want. So pretty nice. So that's where I'm staying, and then someone else, well they're not here yet, but someone else is going to be staying up here, someone over here, you get the point. And then in a private room, you buy the room. So kind of like when you go to a hotel, you might have 1 or 2 beds in there, but you buy the entire room. But anyways, the types of rooms. So the first type of room is the exact type of room that I'm staying in right now, and that is a mixed dorm room. So what that means is it's a dorm room, there's many types of beds, kind of like this, they're usually in bunk beds. However, it's mixed, so that means there are guys and girls both staying in this room. It's definitely the most common, and I'm pretty sure you'll find it at every hostel you'll go to. Now my second type of dorm is just like this one, however, is a single sex dorm. So that means it'll be a female only dorm or a male only dorm. Most of the time it's female only dorms, so if they do have single gender dorms, a lot of hostels, like this hostel I'm staying at right now, has female only dorms, which means there'll be rooms with only females in there, only girls in there, and a lot of girls seek this out, they like being in a room with a bunch of girls, makes them feel safe. A lot of times when you're staying at hostels and they do have single gender dorms, they're usually only female only dorms, but there are plenty of hostels out there that do have male dorms and female dorms. However, hostels like this one just have female only dorms and mixed dorms. It's important to note that not every hostel has single gender dorms, and actually every different type of room I talk about, not every hostel has it. But yeah, so if you're looking for any type of room that's not just a mixed co-ed dorm, then you're gonna have to look a little bit, make sure when you're doing your reviews, see that they do have rooms that offer single gender or any of the next ones that we talk about. Before I get into my next type of hostel room, I just want to give you some subcategories of these 2 different types of rooms that I've discussed so far. So the first subcategory is size. So I say there's small, medium, and large dorm rooms. So this one that I'm staying in right now has 8 beds in it, 4 sets of bunk beds. So I consider that a medium-sized dorm. I think anything between about 6 to 8 beds is a medium-sized dorm. You could argue that 10 might be medium too, but I put in the large size. And then a small dorm room has 4 beds. And a large dorm room can have, I say, 10 plus. So I've been in a hostel room that has 24 beds in it. I know that I've seen some that go up to 32, so you can have a lot of beds in a room. The rooms are usually really big, but either way, anything above 10 I consider a large dorm room. Now, the difference between these subcategories is really usually just price. The more beds, the cheaper it is. But keep in mind, if you want to be quiet, 4, 6, 8, those are going to be the more quiet ones. Once you start getting up, 12, 16, 24, those numbers, you're definitely going to have a lot more noise in your room. People coming in all hours of the night, people turning the lights on. That's kind of when you run into those issues a lot more. So the next subcategory for these 2 types I've discussed so far is the types of bathrooms. So there are 2 different types of bathrooms. So there's in-suite and out-of-suite bathrooms. Out-of-suite really just mean like common area bathrooms. So an in-room bathroom just means that your room, like the 8 beds here, all have one bathroom that they would share. It has a closed door, so it's more privacy. You have, a sink, toilet, shower, all in there. However, of the 8 people in your room, y'all all have to use just that one bathroom. If someone's in there taking a shower, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't brush your teeth, you can't do that type of stuff. The biggest downside about them is they do get backed up sometimes. So if you're staying in a dorm with an in-suite bathroom, don't take too long in the bathroom. Don't be that annoying person. However, the in-suite bathroom, it does have its perks. I would say the bathrooms are usually cleaner. There's more accountability to keep it clean. On top of that, you have a bunch more privacy. It's pretty much like your own bathroom. It's just you're sharing it. So there won't be any other people in the bathroom with you. Have it all to yourself. And then additionally, when I talked about those large rooms earlier, the ones with like 12, 24 people in them, so they usually have 2 in-suite bathrooms in them. So this means, if there's, 16, 24 people in a room, those 16, 24 people will share 2 bathrooms. Now, if it's a common area bathroom, that means that you share it with everyone. So when I say everyone, sometimes it's everyone on your floor if it's like a multi-floor hostel. Sometimes it's just like a big bathroom that everyone in the hostel shares. I've also seen it where there's a whole bathroom that all the guys share and all the girls share, but most of the time I do feel like it's a mixed gender bathroom. The downside of this is that you lose your privacy. It's not usually as private. Also, it's not necessarily as clean. I feel like those ones get a little bit dirtier, but hostels like the one I'm staying at right now, they do a great job at keeping it clean. There's always cleaning people who are cleaning it up, making sure it stays clean, so you don't have to worry about it at a lot of hostels. But if there is a hostel where the bathroom's going to get nasty, it's probably going to be at one of these common area bathrooms. Now, the 2 types of rooms I've discussed so far are not only the most common, but I would say that they're also the most social, and they're the best for solo travelers. These types of rooms provide the most opportunity to meet people, hang out, do that type of stuff. However, these types of rooms are often also the loudest, and it's these rooms where you kind of run into some of those like typical hostel issues. People putting a towel on your bed, or turning the lights on, stuff like that. Now the third type of hostel room is a pod style hostel room. So as you see, like these beds are here, you know, it's like a bunk bed, you know, it's kind of exposed, everyone can see each other. A pod style room, you have your own little pod, like your bed is your pod. I'll throw some pictures up so you can understand it better. So these pod style dorms do give you more privacy. However, they're also not as social because everyone has their own pod, they kind of stick in their pod. They're a lot more quiet, which is a good thing if you're trying to get a good night's sleep. Now, one thing I will say about these pod style dorms is not many hostels have them, and usually if a hostel does have them, that's like all they have. So it's really just like a substitution pretty much for these types of beds. So it's really the same type of room, just different styles of beds. Now the last type of dorm room I'm going to talk about, my fourth one, is dorm rooms with no bunk beds. So they're all just a bunch of single beds, you know, just one bed, one bed, one bed next to each other. No one's on top of each other. So this can be good because, you know, no one's going to be climbing on top of you, or you're not going to have to climb up. You know, you're not going to have to take your cord, plug it down here, which can be difficult sometimes. I mean, this is good. They have great power outlets that are kind of like right in the middle. But, you know, sometimes they're all the way down on the floor and you have to bring a wire all the way up. Also, if you're on the bottom, you know, you're not going to have any bed shaker, or on the top, you know, there's all these people rolling around. There's those bed shakers out there, so you won't have a bed shaker. So this type of room and the pod style dorms might be a little bit more expensive than a typical dorm, but, you know, they're also a bit nicer. Also, same things with the bathrooms. You know, there's the subcategories. You know, they might have an in-suite bathroom, they might have a common out-of-suite bathroom. So that's it for the dorm rooms. Now, the next type I'm going to be talking about, the next type of room, are the private rooms, the private suites, where you book the whole room, so more similar to a hotel room. Now, not all hostels have these, and all hostels do have like a type of dorm room. You know, that's like pretty much like what defines it as a hostel. If it had all private rooms, it'd be called a hotel. So while not all hostels have these, I will say all types of hostels have them. You know, I had made a whole nother video, I'll link it below, and I'll put in the end card about the different types of hostels. Any type of hostel can have private rooms. I've been in really cheap, crappy hostels that even had private rooms. However, I will say they're most commonly found in luxury hostels and in youth hostels. So the biggest advantages of these private rooms is quiet. You know, they're going to be quiet. You don't have other people in there, or at least other people that you don't know in there. Additionally, the privacy is huge. I mean, you have your own room, so you have like all the privacy you want. Then also security. They're a lot more safe. You know, you're probably not going to get your things stolen. You know, it's kind of like a hotel. You know, they might go in there to clean it up, but no other people are going to be in there. You often, I think all the time, pretty much, you get a key for your own private room, so you're the only one who can get in there. So you don't have to worry about anyone going through your stuff. Now, the biggest downside is that they're going to be a lot more expensive. The prices on these might be closer to like what you'll find at a hotel or motel, not hostel type prices. So yeah, the prices on these, you know, they go up 2-3 times as much as a normal like a dorm room bed. But yeah, I don't know. I guess you get what you pay for. Another little perk I forgot to mention about private rooms is you might have some furniture, or you're most likely going to have some furniture in there. So whether it's like a little desk or a little bedside table, stuff like that, maybe a little dresser, I don't know, probably not, but possibly. I am less familiar with the private room styles than the dorm room styles because I always stay in the dorm rooms. But anyways, I do know that they usually come with some furniture. Also, one more thing about all the different types of private rooms I'm going to be talking about is the whole in-suite, out-of-suite bathroom thing. A lot of times, you know, you do have your own bathroom, like in a typical hotel room, you have your own bathroom in there. However, also sometimes, you know, there is a common bathroom, out-of-suite bathroom that you have to walk out of your room to, you know, shower, do that type of stuff. But anyways, alright, first type of private room is what I call a double room. This is the most typical type of private room. It has one bed in it, that's a twin, maybe a queen, but probably a twin. But anyway, 2 people can sleep in it. This is what you want if you're trying to sleep with someone. Whether you're a couple traveling as a couple, or I don't know, you're trying to hook up with someone, don't do it in a dorm room. Get a private room for that. Shame on you if you do that in a dorm room. Don't be that person. But yeah, that's really what those types of rooms are for. I mean, you can't really sleep 2 people in one of these beds, and even if you could, like, don't do that. Like, you're not allowed that. 1 person per bed in these rooms. But now the second type of private room is a twin room, and that is if you want to be in the same room with someone, you know, sleep in the same room, but you don't want to sleep with them. So what it is, you have 2 twin beds in there. They can either be bunked like this, or they can be like 2 single twin beds side by side. I feel like I usually see on like Hostel World having 2 beds side by side, but you know, they can also be bunked. These rooms are great for if you are traveling with like a great friend or someone you just don't want to sleep with, but you know, you want that extra privacy, that extra security, stuff like that. Then you can get one of these rooms. But yeah, you have it to yourself. You have your own key. You know, you have this little the furniture, stuff like that. But you're not going to be able to sleeping in a room with a bunch of people who you don't know. Now the third type is the same type as before. However, instead of having 2 single beds, it's just 1 because it's for 1 person. So if you own a room to yourself, get that single bed. Now the last type of hostel room I'd like to talk about is what I call a group room or a family room. Usually most common is, so it's a bunk bed, but the bottom one is like a twin or queen size bed, and then the top bunk is a single, so you can have like parents at the bottom, kid up top, stuff like that. You can also find these rooms where it's like 3 singles, but that's a lot less common. And then sometimes I've heard people say that they are family rooms that are like 2 sets of bunk beds, so it's kind of like a small dorm room, but you just buy the whole room at a time. If you'd like to see the different types of hostels that you can stay at, so you know which one's right for you, click this video right over there. I really appreciate it for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more hostel content like this. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.